position sensor. Yes, yes. Hello guys, welcome back to part 3 of this series, and this is the 1993 Mitsubishi 3000 GT. I've been having problem with it, and so I will link the first two videos, and this is again the part 3 where I got this vehicle home. Short story, I took it to 3 shops already, and they couldn't figure out what's wrong with it, or they couldn't fix it. So finally, yeah, they threw the towel, and then so I took it home and I want to fix it myself. But they told me the injectors are not firing, and so now what I did, I removed the plenum, and so to test the injectors. So the plenum, and so now you see this is the fuel rail. So now this is the fuel rail. You see we're disconnecting them, and so we my son and we fired we cranked, but there's no fuel coming out of the fuel rail. Now the third shop, so I took it to three shops. The first one said it was the fuel pump, replaced fuel pump, and said there's fuel pressure. The second shop, they couldn't do anything, and then took it to the third shop. The third shop said, okay, it's ECU. I replaced the ECU, but we're still having problem. So now I doubt that it's the all 6 injectors are not working, because it's weird for all 6 of them to go bad. Something caused them to not injecting the fuel. So I have a I have a refurbished ECU, which they told me the ECU was bad. So, but it's still not firing. So I will do more research and to figure out why they're not firing. But we have fuel. The fuel filter is good, and then there's, I don't know, maybe there's no the fuel rail. There's not enough fuel pressure. But you can see here that this part here, that's the fuel pressure regulator, which I replaced not too long ago, so I have to do a little bit more research. So it could be the refurbished ECU that is not good. Now I do not know. This is the original ECU, and so I had this shipped to a repairer, and they said there was nothing wrong with it, but at the same time I can see that they did replace the some capacitors. I don't know if they did replace it, or some work was done to it in the past, but at the same time I can see there's some rust. Yeah, because again, this is 30 years old. Now the refurbished capacitor, ECU, is still not firing. So that's why we do not have we don't have fuel in the rail. So we are removing the refurbished ECU, and we're going to put this the same one back. And so I will try to contact the provider, or the merchant that sold me the refurbished ECU, to let them know that maybe something's wrong with it, because the injectors are not firing at all. Because I don't think all the injectors will be bad, so there's no electricity going to them, or maybe no fuel pressure whatsoever. But that's part of the investigation. Well, I just put back the old ECU, and then we fired the engine, and we're still not getting fuel. And so now I want to eliminate the ECU issue, because with two ECUs, it makes no sense that to think that maybe a third ECU will solve the problem. So what we are going to do now is to check the fuel pressure, but we can't really check fuel pressure because there's no fuel gauge. So what we'll do is this is where this is from the fuel pump uh, the fuel filter and to the fuel rail. And you know there are two fuel rails. This is the front one and this is the back one here. So we're going to open this one here and to see the amount of the flow. So if it's low, then maybe we just do not have enough fuel pressure in there, or there's no build-up and to allow the fuel to spray down into the engine. Well, we just disconnected the fuel rail, and we were having difficulty doing it on the back end, so we just did it again, the front here. And once this is straight from the fuel filter, and once we disconnected it, and fuel just was gushing out. So that means that there was already fuel in the fuel rail. So basically there is fuel going into the fuel rail, but the injectors are not firing because there's no pulse. So we have to figure out again what's causing the injectors not to firing, meaning that to spray the fuel down into the engine. When it comes to having fuel in the fuel rail, fuel pump is good again because fuel was in there. Now, whether or not we have enough fuel pressure, we do not know. But what we know for sure, there is fuel in the fuel rail. Hey, I'm back again. I'm still waiting for the some parts. I ordered testers for the Jesus. Yeah, for the injectors, so I can check for electricity. But in the meantime, I've been doing other research, and it's here. I found this here, and based on the lecture, if this is clogged, that could also stall the engine, preventing it from starting. And that's the evaporative solenoid. And so I managed to unplug it after a long time, and look how it is dirty, and I don't know. Yeah, it's all this deposits. Maybe there wasn't a connection. And then this is the here. So I'm going to clean this up and then spray some stuff in there to to clean it up, and then to see what we got. But look, so certainly there wasn't a great connection. Well, no luck, but I did clean it up and put it back. I'm still doing more research while I'm still waiting for the part to check the injectors. I know the tachometer does not work. It had not been working for months. So, upon some research, I find out that the PTU is the can be the culprit if there's no signal. So now I remove it. I don't know how to test it, but I know for sure the tachometer had stopped working. Here's where it's located. You see that's the coil packs here, and so it was right here. These are the two plugs, and it was mounted underneath. It was mounted underneath here, so there is a place for it. And so I remove it. So what I'm going to do, I will actually buy another one, because I have to, because I know for sure the tachometer had stopped working. So this could be the reason why the vehicle is not starting, because it can the ECU does not did not send a signal, because you didn't notice that the engine turned over. There's no speed. I don't know, but that's something to think about. Let me get one on Rock Auto. Update. One more failure. I replaced. This is the old one, and I replaced the PTU, and here, down here, and you see we're looking at it, and the tachometer did not move an inch, and then it did not start. So that wasn't the issue. I thought maybe that this was going to fix the tachometer, because that's what what the researcher told me. So that didn't work. So what we have now is to check the yeah the these here, to see if the injectors, to see if there's power. So I've already got those tools. Also, the ECU I bought, the used one, I sent it back to the company, and then they will send me another one, so I can check to see maybe if the one they sent me is not compatible.
So what we're gonna do today is take out the injector harness, disconnect it. We're gonna use these Noid lights, or another name for them is the electronic fuel injector test light set. This is a universal kit on Amazon. I believe this was about between $20 and $30, just depending on the brand. Now, you won't need this in every day, just in some situations like ours. So all I gotta do is just find the connector I need. So once you find the light that matches up to the connector, you just want to turn over the car and see if it lights up. Now I recommend you do this in the dark. So I'm gonna turn off the light, and it's gonna make it easier to see. So as you saw, the light did not go off. So just as to make sure that the injectors are not getting a pulse, we're going to remove just another connector and do the same test to make sure it's not just that one cylinder.
Again.
So as you saw, ladies and gentlemen, the second cylinder we tried, there did not light up. So I think we can narrow this down to the injectors are not getting a pulse, which I already done research for this car, and it's either the MFI relay, which when we replaced, it did start once, but it never started again. And it could also be the ECU, which we have already bought a new ECU, new or refurbished one, and it's on the way. So we're just gonna wait for that new one to come and try this again.
Okay, today is February the 14th, and it's Valentine's Day, and this is what I've received from from one of my girlfriends. Look, ta-da! One of my girlfriends. Ta-da! That's a replacement ECU, and this one has the same number. Okay, same number, same part number. And so remember, 3 weeks ago I returned one that I bought from Module, I think it's Module Mechanics, and it didn't have, the one they sent me didn't work. It wasn't compatible, because out of the box it didn't have all the numbers, but this part numbers, but this one seems to have the same. even though it looks very old, of course. And so let me go ahead and try see if this thing works. What does it come here? Oh, the name of the place is Module, Module Mechanics. Module Mechanics. So let's go ahead and see. Hopefully this one works. Let me cross fingers. Finger crossed. Finger crossed. Okay, so this is the replacement used one. I just plugged it up, and I'm very anxious, and also I do not really want to try it though and get this printed. But anyway, I have to. Let me try. Okay, I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. Holy shit! Nothing. I'll be damned. Nothing. Maybe I don't. Maybe it's not the computer. Okay. Guys, several weeks later, well, couple or 3 weeks. Well, the vehicle still has not started, and I call a shop that specializes in this type of vehicle, and we are at mid of February, but they told me they are busy, and that will be end of March. So in the meantime, all the research I've done, they listed lots of many parts that could go wrong that would prevent the vehicle from starting. And I've already checked all of them, but the camshaft position sensor. I did the crank, it didn't start, but the camshaft is somewhere down here, and the goal right now is to replace it. I just ordered it, and I'm waiting for it. So in the meantime, I'm looking for a way to get to it, and maybe I'm gonna try to crack the cover. I removed the top cover. You see the top one. So we have the bottom one that's supposed to be removed, but that's way too much work. So far right now, you see, I kind of crack. I break it open, so just to give me room to access the sensor, so I can unbolt it. So I should be able to do that. So this is where we are right now. Okay, you can see here, there's a little crack here. That's the bottom part of the timing belt cover, and so I had to shear a little piece out of it, and that's the only way for me to get to the camshaft without removing almost everything. So this is it. I got it out, and now I'm waiting for the replacement. So now you see that's the camshaft. There is a long metal that goes through here that's supposed to send a signal. However, I see here, I don't see any problem. So I don't know why would this thing not work. Maybe this is magnet, and then over time, this vehicle is 30 years old, and then just stop sending signal. But this is similar to the crankshaft, and I replaced the crankshaft, and it didn't do anything. So now let's just cross fingers that I did not destroy my cover for nothing. And I will not put this back because I'm afraid that with vibration it might move and then touch the bottom part of the timing belt and then break it. So I will leave it with the hole. Guess what? We all have uncovered or open holes, and we live. I just received the camshaft position sensor, and we are going to install it. All right, so it took us a little bit time to put the new one back in, and so now we're just putting everything back together. So I'm hoping it works. Just finger crossed. Well. Test. 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 One more time. Okay, guys, I am still at it, and we are 3 weeks later after the first failure. So now I'm revisiting the crank position sensor. Remember, I replaced it, but all the research, they said that the crank position sensor could maybe is the issue, because the main reason is because my RPM is not working. So they said the crank position sensor. So what we are doing now, me and my son, we are revisiting my work, because when I first did this, I did it blindly. I didn't know what I was doing. So now you see that's part of the crank position sensor, and then it is in here. See, that's this is it in here. Now there's the blade. You see that blade. So what we'll do, I just put that big bolt, and we're going to turn this and see if the blade actually goes between those teeth. Now you see the metal part? Yeah, so between it, that's where the blade's supposed to go. So we'll go ahead and do that now. Okay, let's see if it's this. Let me see if yeah. Keep on going. Oh yeah, it's up. It's up right there. You see? It is inside. Right?
I can't see anything. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, you see the blade? Yeah, the blade is between the teeth. Okay, so we are the next day. I removed the one that I put in. That would be the crank position sensor, and I received the other one. So this one here to the right, that's the first one I replaced, and I checked it, and it looks fine to me. You can see the metal part are fine, and this is the replacement. I bought this from a different auto part, but I see they are basically identical. So I don't know exactly what the problem is, why I'm not getting a signal, but let me go ahead and put this one in. At the meeting plate, the teeth on the top left, you see how rusty it is? I wonder, maybe that's the reason why it's not getting a signal, RPM, because it's not reading, because it's too rusty. I don't know. I will try to see if I can clean it up a little bit. I just replace or put the second crankshaft position sensor, and then I started the car. It did not start. So, but I had the replacement ECU. I still have my original ECU. I just put the original ECU back in the vehicle. Now let me go ahead and start it. Yes! Yes! It was the crankshaft position sensor. Yes! Yes! Oh my God. Oh my God. Can't believe this. I can't believe this. I fixed it myself. Hey guys, so This is we're on the fifth. Oh no, seventh. Today's the 7th. Okay, so this is March 7th. So we finally fixed it. Remember, it was broken down in September 2024. So remember, they kept telling me that it was the ECU. So purchase a bunch of ECUs and nothing. But it was actually the crankshaft position sensor. And the problem was when I first replaced the crankshaft position sensor, I did it blindly, and it wasn't tight enough. So this time around, I revisited my work and then took my time. I cleaned the metal, the tooth, or the metal, the blade, and also make sure that the crank position sensor is tight, and then make good contact with the blade. And I put my original ECU, because the refurbished ECU did not start it, even though they were compatible, but it did not start it. So now everything works. So, but anyway, lesson learned. I spent over $3,300 for nothing, but that only a $50 part fixed the car. So we are good. I learned my lesson. And also, I'm really knowledgeable about this car right now. I know almost everything about it except taking the engine apart. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. And I hope you learned something. I hope you learned something. Okay. See you soon.